It's just comedy.
The Jell-O Program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra.
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again.
With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Well, what an original greeting.
Hello and welcome to another week of comedy, funny, haha, on Dwayne Old Time Radio. One thing, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribing is 100% free. Also, one more thing, if you have a few seconds or 1 minute, please leave a review on your preferred podcast service, especially if you're on Apple, Spotify, or really just your preferred podcast service. Thank you and hope you enjoy. Lum and Abner on comedy for the week with 3 episodes, not 1, not 2, but 3 episodes. The first one is titled Abner Receives Telegram from Hortense. That one aired January 24th, 1935. Next we have Abner goes to the railroad depot to meet Hortense. That one aired January 25th, 1935. And last we have Elizabeth thinks Abner having an affair with Hortense. Hortense got a lot of play in these 3 episodes. That one aired January 30th, 1935.
Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Now, here's a simple, safe, reducing plan for overweight people. An effective way to lose excess pounds without discomfort or without resorting to methods of which your doctor might not approve. Drink a glass full of Horlicks at noon instead of eating a heavy meal. Here's why that Horlick luncheon will help you people who are anxious to regain a youthful waistline. Horlicks, while it is nourishing, energy-giving, and sustaining, doesn't have the heavy meal's excess of calories. When you drink a glass full of Horlicks for luncheon instead of a heavier meal, you are reducing your caloric intake. And that, as you probably know, is the fundamental principle of losing weight. There's another thing about the Horlick luncheon, too. It's much easier to digest than is a heavy meal. And that's why Horlicks at noon will keep you alert later. Why it will not leave you feeling drowsy or listless. Try the Horlick luncheon tomorrow. You can get Horlicks malted milk, you know, in either natural or chocolate flavor at your druggist. And you can prepare a glass of Horlicks quickly and easily, either at home or at your work. Mix it with water alone. You don't need to add any flavoring or any raw milk to make a delicious and full-flavored glass full of Horlicks. And now, let's get ready for Lum and Abner. You know, the Pine Ridge Matrimonial Bureau has received hundreds of applications from women in search of a husband. A few days ago, not having any pictures of prospective husbands to send out, Lum conceived the idea of mailing out a few pictures of Abner. Well, evidently, Abner's pictures made quite a hit with the ladies. Among other letters, yesterday he received one from a Miss Hortense Kelly, who stated that she had fallen in love with him through his picture and was coming to Pine Ridge to pay him a visit soon. As we look in on the old fellows today, we find that they have moved their office back down to the store building formerly occupied by their Jot-'em-Down store. Abner seems very much worried over Miss Kelly's threatened visit. Listen.
Well, now, Lum, you got me into this, and it's up to you to get me out of it.
Well, Abner, I told you 100 times you ain't into nothing. Yet.
Well, I'd like to know why I ain't. A woman coming down here wanting to marry me, and he already married.
Oh, she ain't coming down here.
She says she is, and that letter says it was a case of love at first sight, and for me to wait for her, that she's coming down here.
Oh, yeah, I know. She's just more than likely having a little fun out of you.
No, sir. No, sir. No, that woman is in love with me. I can tell the way she talked in that letter, or wrote in it.
Well, if she was to come down here and got a good look at you, she'd more likely catch the next train back home.
I don't know, Lum. Women folks fall in love with me awful easy. I just wish sometimes that I weren't so handsome.
Handsome?
I know it'd get me in trouble sooner or later. It's these big blue eyes of mine that does it.
You ain't getting stuck on yourself over them women folks writing to you.
Well, no, but they can't all be wrong, Lum. One of them others said that she thought I had understanding eyes.
Yeah, understanding eyes.
What she said?
She ain't got good sense. If I can tell that by reading her letter.
Well, I don't know what to do about it. I'm just a good mind to write her a letter and tell her not to come.
No, I wouldn't start writing her no letters now. You will get yourself involved showing up. Best thing to do is just ignore her.
Well, I ought to write and tell her I'm already married.
No, don't tell her that. You'll give the matrimonial bureau a black eye. If she finds out we're sending out pictures of a man that's already married, don't tell what she'll think.
Well, what do you think that Elizabeth's going to think when she finds it out? She's about to give me 2 black eyes.
Well, if she does come down here to see you, the thing to do is just not let Elizabeth know nothing about it. It's a good thing she's still down there in Texas visiting.
Yeah, well, that won't help matters none, Lum. The first thing that Sister Simpson or some of these other gossips around here will do is sit right down and write her a letter and tell her about the whole business. And by the time Elizabeth hears about it, well, they'll have a truth stretch the fur out of shape, but there ain't no telling what they'll have her bleeding. You know how Sister Simpson exaggerates.
Oh, well, Elizabeth will take your word again theirs.
Well, if she does, she's changed a lot since she went down there, I'll say that.
I just allowed a man's wife always believed her husband before they would anybody else.
Yeah, well, of course you never have been married, or you never would make such a remark again. You just got it right square backwards. Elizabeth will believe anything bad about me that she hears, regardless of who tells it to her.
Oh, you're just making a mountain out of a molehill.
Huh?
I say you're making a mountain out of a molehill. What I mean by that is...
I know what you mean. You don't have to explain stuff to me.
Well, that's the first time I ever knowed you to understand what I was talking about.
Well, I don't know why you'd say that, special about me.
Well, generally always when I quote one of them old edited sayings of mine, I've got to stop and explain to you what I'm talking about.
Huh.
It's just like arguing with a stump on fire to get it through your thick head.
Oh, well, no, I've heard that old saying all my life, huh? Of course, you never said it right, but I know what you're trying to say.
I never said it right.
No, you got it sort of mixed up there, Lum. The way the saying goes is that if you can't take the mountain to the molehill, take the molehill to the mountain. That's the
for
saying.
goodness sake, you're talking about Mohammed in the mountain.
No, I said molehill, Lum. You just misunderstood me.
I know what you said. I mean, you're thinking about Mohammed.
I ain't no such a thing. I ain't thinking about nothing.
Yes, you are. I know what you're thinking about.
Well, now, Lum, I reckon I ought to know more about what I'm thinking about than you do. You can't read my mind.
No, and nobody else can. More than likely ain't nothing in your head there but a big vacuum.
A vacuum? For the land's sake. Why, there ain't room for a vacuum in my head. Where would they put the handle?
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner. Where would they put that? What I meant, you're taking a little bitty molehill that don't amount to nothing and trying to make a big mountain out of it. Taking this little letter you got from that woman and making such a to-do over it.
Well, now, which?
Which what?
Which am I trying to do?
I say, that's what you're doing when you take this letter so serious. You're making a mountain out of it.
I think I understand what you mean there. You mean if I can't get her to come here, that I'll have to go there, huh?
No, you're still thinking about Mohammed.
No, her name is Hortense. Don't you remember, Lum? Hortense Kelly. That's her name.
Abner, you're getting yourself all twisted up now.
Huh?
Sit still. I mean, you're getting your mind twisted up.
Oh.
Just forget about the mountain. Forget about Hortense, too. You're just worrying yourself over nothing. Wait till she gets here. Then it'll be time enough to start worrying.
Yeah, it'll be too late then. Now, Lum, you just got to study up some way to keep that woman away from here.
I told you to quit thinking about it. Even if she does come again, she sees you, she'll know she's made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, but I don't want her coming down here. I tell you, Lum, I'll spell trouble in.
Well, Abner, you can't keep the woman from coming to Pine Ridge if she wants to. There ain't no log in coming down here.
Dad blamed if I don't believe you want her to come.
Oh, I ain't particular about it. Would love to see if she's as pretty as her picture shows her to be.
Picture? I ain't saw no picture of her.
Well, I did. I'd forgot which one she was. But after you got that letter, you see, I got sort of curious to see what she looked like, so I got out the letter she sent us about herself when she made the application for a husband.
Yeah.
There's her picture there.
Well, what you doing carrying it around your pocket that way?
Oh, I did. Well, what difference does it make?
Oh, she is a right smart of a looker, ain't she?
Yeah, that's the prettiest one we've got here.
Oh, she is a dandy.
She's red-headed, according to the description she sent in about herself.
Wouldn't be surprised.
26-year-old.
Well,
She's an actress.
is that right?
Yeah, win a marathon dancing contest.
Well, I do know, bless her heart.
Stands 5'2" and weighs 112 pounds.
Well, I'll swan to goodness.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I see now. Yeah. You just want to get that woman down here so you can see her yourself.
Well, where did you get such ideas out of
That's just about the size of it. I see through the whole thing now. Yeah, you scared to send your own picture, feared that Evelyna'd find out about it, so you sent her
Now,
mine.
wait a minute, Abner. Just calm
And you're
yourself
going to
down.
sit down there right now and tell her that you made a mistake and sent her the wrong pictures. That feller she's in love with is done married.
I ain't going to write her no such a thing. You know how come me to send them pictures of you out. They was the only ones we had here.
Either you sit down and write her not to come, or I'm going to step right there at the telephone and call up Evelina.
Call up Evelina.
Yes, sir, and tell her that you're in love with Hortense.
Go ahead. Call her. Call her up.
That's just what I'm going to do, yes, sir. I'll bet you'll stop her from coming down.
Abner, get away from that telephone.
I ain't going to do it. I said I was going to tell her, and I'm going to tell her.
Abner.
Hello?
Abner.
Sister Simpson?
My goodness.
Is Evelina there?
Abner, give me that receiver.
Tell her to step to the telephone, please,
Here,
Mom.
give me
I'll
that
show you.
receiver.
I'll show you.
What are you trying to do? Break me and Evelina
Well,
up?
I'd rather break you and Evelina up than have that woman break me and Elizabeth up.
All right. I'll write the letter. Hang up the receiver.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's Evelina now. Hello?
Here, give me that receiver. Hello, who is it? Who? Evelina. Well, you've got the wrong number. This is the Pine Ridge Matrimonial Bureau. Goodbye. Now, stay away from that telephone.
Well, write that letter, Lord, but I'll be right back up there saying it again.
Abner, this ain't nothing but out-and-out blackmail. What do you want me to say?
Just tell her that you sent the wrong picture and she better not come down here on account of I'm done married.
All right. Hand me that pencil there.
Doggy, that's a relief. Just wouldn't do for her to come down here, Lord. Elizabeth just go high.
Looky on her.
Well, howdy, Dick.
Yeah, come in, Dick.
Well, moved back down here in the old store building, have you?
Yeah, we never had room over at my place for the matrimonial office.
Well, I went over there looking for you. I got a telegram here for you, Abner.
Telegram.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left it down there at the store. I told them I'd see if you got it.
Well, I do know. I bound you saw Elizabeth and Pearl that they're coming home.
Sit down, Dick, and loaf a while.
Yeah, looks natural to see you fellas back over here at the store.
Yeah. I was sitting here today thinking, I wish we'd never sold our store.
Yeah.
Seems so quiet around here without no merchandise in the shelves.
What's the matter, Abner?
For goodness sakes, Abner. You look like you saw a ghost. What's the matter?
Must be something in that telegram, Lum. Nothing happened to your wife, has it, Abner?
Mr. Abner Peabody, Pine Ridge. Darling, I will arrive tomorrow. Can hardly wait to see you. Love. Hortense.
Well, it's too late now. Hortense is probably already on her way to Pine Ridge. Ladies and gentlemen, poor and unhealthy teeth and gums are the cause of much suffering and misery. It's most important that every one of us give our teeth proper care. And it's doubly important that we parents keep a careful watch over the condition of our children's teeth. For sound and healthy teeth are formed during childhood years. 3 things are important in preventing decay. First, regular visits to the dentist. And second, regular and proper cleaning of the teeth. Third, and just as important as the other 2, is proper diet. The teeth and gums, like other parts of the body, are made from the food that we eat. The same foods that build up healthy teeth will protect teeth against decay. Now, calcium, phosphorus, and the vitamins are elements that are responsible for the formation of healthy teeth. And Horlick's malted milk is an excellent source of all of these elements. To help children develop sound teeth and gums, give them several glassfuls of Horlicks every day. To do so is to spare your child much unhappiness in later years. This is Carlton Brickert, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlick, who now bid you all good night and good health.
Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Because Horlicks malted milk is so energy-giving and refreshing, athletic coaches and trainers recommend it as a fine after-exercise drink. It restores the energy that has been expended by physical activity, helps the athlete to recuperate and relax. The makers of Horlicks recently received a letter from a nationally known athlete who is now head coach and athletic director of a Pennsylvania high school. This gentleman said, quote, "While a member of the Los Angeles and Portland baseball clubs of the Pacific Coast League, I never failed to drink a glass of Horlicks after every game to build up lost energy. I found, in fact, that I recovered strength and energy after a glass of Horlicks faster than I did after a heavy meal. This was undoubtedly due to the easier digestibility of Horlicks. Here at the high school, my football and basketball teams enjoy Horlicks after games as much as I do. I might add that I have made it a point to tell coaches who are friends of mine about the benefits of Horlicks malted milk tablets for quick energy during timeout periods." End of quote. And now, let's get ready for Lum and Abner. You know, several days ago, not having pictures of other men to send to the female applicants of the Pine Ridge Matrimonial Bureau, Lum decided to send out some pictures of Abner. Well, yesterday, Abner received a wire from a Miss Hortense Kelly stating that she had fallen in love with his picture and would arrive in Pine Ridge today. As we look in on our old friend, it is early morning. We find Lum over at Abner's house trying to persuade him to go to the train to meet Miss Kelly today. Listen.
Well, why can't you go in there and meet her by yourself?
Well, she ain't coming to see me, Abner.
Well, I didn't think she was, the way you got yourself dressed up there.
Well, natural, me being the president of the Matrimonial Bureau, I've got to dress myself up when we meet one of our clients this way.
Yeah, well, you just go in there, Lum, and tell her that feller Peabody that she's in love with has skipped the country. She can't locate her.
I ain't going to tell her no such a thing. What kind of a company would she think this is, letting her go to all the expense of coming all the way down here, and then the man she come to see runs out on her?
Man, I don't care what she thinks about the company. I ain't going to meet her, and I ain't going to have a thing to do with her now. I'll just hide out from her while she's here. That's what I'll do.
Well, you've got to be in there at the county seat for the trial. That Squire Skimp case is set for 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to meet Hortense on the 3 o'clock train.
Well, Lum, Grandpap's going in there. You and him ought to be enough for him to try.
Yeah, but we need you for a witness, Abner. If Squire Skimp wins that case, they'll take our farms and everything else away from us.
Why, you got that agreement that Squire signed saying that he'd assume all obligations of the company.
Yeah, but a body can't never tell what 12 Germans is going to do.
Well, I couldn't tell them what to do if I was to go in there. They wouldn't listen to me.
Come on. Get up from there. I've bargained with you just as long as I'm going to. Grandpap will be by here directly.
Well, all right. I'll go into the trial, but just as quick as it's over, I'm going to come right straight back out here. You ain't going to get me down to that train to beat Hortense.
Well, we'll argue about that later. Get a move on yourself. Get dressed.
Well, I'm dressed. I'm ready to go any time.
You ain't going in there like that, undoubtedly. Where's your necktie?
Why, it's hanging on a dresser there.
Well, put it on.
Ain't going to take no pictures of it, are they?
No, but you don't want Hortense to see you without no necktie on.
I told you that I weren't going to see Hortense.
You're going to meet that train if I have to tie you and carry you down there.
Well, now, Lum, if Elizabeth finds out that I went to the train to meet some other woman, why, it just ain't no telling what she would do.
Abner, I told you Elizabeth will never find out about it. I've done made arrangements for Hortense to stay over at Sister Simpson's while she's here.
Yeah, and she was just about to tell Sister Simpson that she'd come out here to see me, and then Sister Simpson will break her neck to write Elizabeth, and I've been advertising for a while.
No, I told Sister Simpson about the whole thing.
Told her about it?
Yeah, I told her that we sent out some of your pictures by mistake, and this woman had saw one of them and fell in love with it at first sight.
Oh, me.
She promised me, though, she wouldn't breathe a word of it to nobody.
Oh, my goodness. Now you did it, Mom. Now you did it. More likely she done wrote a letter to Elizabeth by this time.
No.
Or she couldn't keep a secret till you could get out of her sight.
No, I don't think she'll tell it, Abner.
Well, I bet she was on the telephone telling it over the party line before you shut the front gate.
Well, if you get in any trouble over it, I'll straighten things out for you. I'll promise you that.
Yeah.
I'll write Elizabeth a letter and explain the whole thing to her. Think you got a better-looking coat than that you can put on?
No. Except my Sunday coat.
Well, put it on. This is an important occasion, Abner.
Well, now, Lum, I ain't said that I'd meet that train yet.
No, you ain't, but I have.
Well, what am I going to meet her, Lum. I can't marry the woman.
Well, Abner, I'm just trying to help you. You don't have sense enough to see it. I'll sworn I get so disgusted with you, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you ain't trying to help me neither.
Well, you see, if you do what I tell you, if she comes in on that train and you ain't there to meet her, she'll more likely come out here looking for you and then asking everybody around town. Everybody in town will know about it.
Oh, my goodness, now that won't do.
I know. It's what I say. I'm trying to tell you. The thing to do is to meet her at the train, and I'll introduce you to her, and I believe when she sees you, she'll change her mind about wanting to marry you.
Yeah, but what if she don't change her mind, though?
Yeah, you can get out of it some way. Tell her you got her letter too late, that you've already married somebody else. Tell her anything. Then I'll take her down to our office when we get out here and show her all the pictures of other men that's come in since we wrote her and try to find somebody else that she'll want to marry.
Well, I wish to goodness knew he'd never thought of the matrimonial business. That's what I wish.
Well, I don't know if I'd go so first to
Well,
say
I
that.
do. I wish I'd never heard the name.
Well, the only mistake we made is when we sent out them pictures of you. I don't much believe we ought to did that.
Yeah, I know Dad blame well that we oughtn't to.
Well, just leave everything to me. I'll have this all straightened out to where it'll all come out all right.
I hope so.
Trouble with you always worry about something there ain't no reason to.
Oh, wait a minute, Lum. Wait a minute, that's my ring there.
Yeah, more like the grandpap telling us he'll be here directly.
Hello? Peabody's place. Who? Oh. Oh, well. Yes. Yeah, sure. Why, natural. Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom.
Yes.
Well, yes, Mom.
Granny, can't you say no once in a while?
Why, sure. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I wish I could get him to agree with me like that.
Well, that's all right. Not at all. Yes, Mom. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Well, I know they'd be
yeah,
there.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, Mom. All right. Goodbye. Well.
Who was that?
I don't know. She never did say.
Well, what was she wanting?
I don't know. I never asked her.
You mean you talked all that time, never found out who it was or what she wanted?
Well, I never talked all that time. She done the talking.
Well, what was she talking about all that time then?
Why, nothing. She just said it was the wrong number. She was calling Sea-Strump's place.
Oh, for goodness.
Yonder comes Grandpap now, Lum. I expect I better comb my hair and get ready.
Yeah. There's Dick Huddleston with him. He ain't going, is he?
I know, not that I know of.
Well, hurry up. I'll go on out there and keep them while you're...
Yeah, well, I'll be out there just as quick as I can find my coat and hat and get them on.
Well, howdy, fellers.
Hi, Lum.
Yeah, howdy, Lum.
Where's Abner?
He'll be out in just a minute. He's trying to find his hat and coat now, I think.
Well, Abner's always the last one ready anytime you go anyplace.
Have you got that documentary Squire Stimp signed, Lum? Oh, yeah. Got that right here in my pocket. I sure don't want to forget that. It's the only thing that'll save us. I'm just worried to death about that trial, Lum. Worried and fretted over it all night.
Oh, well, now, I don't think the Squire's got a chance in the world of winning that suit, Grandpap. When you fellas produce that agreement he signed, well, I believe they'll throw it out of court.
Yeah, I just hope you're right, Dick. I would love to get the best of Squire Stimp for once.
Yeah. Well, if you win this case, Lum, well, you've got even with him for all the stunts he ever pulled on you, all right.
Oh, yeah. Well, here comes Pokey now. Hurry up, Abner. We'll freeze to death out here.
I'm coming. For my head.
Oh, for goodness.
Hi, Dick. Hi, Grandpap.
Yeah, howdy, Abner.
Hello, Abner. Well, better get out and let you fellas go, right? Here, Abner, here, you can get right up here at Grandpap.
Well, ain't you going with us, Dick?
No, I can't, Lum. I'd like to, but I can't leave the store today, and you fellas won't need me in there anyway.
Well, get in the back there, Richard, and I'll drive you back down to the store.
Oh, no. Thanks a lot, Grandpap, but you fellas sort of push for time if that trial comes up 10 o'clock. I can walk back down the store. Won't take
Well,
a few minutes.
maybe we better then, for...
Sure, go ahead.
We want to get the trial started on time. We've got to meet that train at 3 o'clock to meet Hortense.
Yeah, Lum, Connie, talk me into meeting Hortense. Yeah, I reckon I'll go in there and see what you look like.
Well, you fellas ready? So long, Dick.
Well, so long now. Be careful now. Don't wrap that around anything, Grandpap.
Yeah, take her easy now, Grandpap. Don't be trying to go.
I'm driving this car now,
If
Abner.
you start taking them curves like you did the last time, I'm going to get out and walk, too. Well, so long, Dick. So long.
See you tonight, Dick.
All right. I hope you win that lawsuit.
Hey, Mr. Abner. Hey, wait a minute.
Now, what's the matter, Cedric?
Hey, stop Mr. Abner there.
Well, it's too late now, Cedric. He couldn't hear you. What's the matter? Do you want to go with him?
No, ma'am, I got a telegram here from Mr. Abner.
A telegram?
Yes, Mom.
Well, here. Let me see it, Cedric. Might be something important there. Let me read it.
That feller told me to be sure and see that he got it.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I'll look it over here and see what it... Well,
What's the matter? Some bad news of some kind?
will arrive on the 3 o'clock train. Meet us, Elizabeth and Pearl.
Well, poor Abner. If Lum can get him out of this scrape, he's good. Ladies and gentlemen, in the following occurrence, the time is evening. The scene, aboard a streetcar. And here are Les Chalmers and Frank White.
Move over, Les. If you only pay one fare, you're entitled to only one strap.
Hello, Frank. Where did you come from?
Now, 300 other people and I just got on a Temple Street.
Boy, they do pack them in here, don't they?
Yeah, looks like the Rose Bowl on wheels.
Say, what does a man have to do to reach you at your office?
Well, depends on who it is that's trying to get me. Why?
Must have called you 10 times this morning.
Did? Well, I was tied up with Big Boss until about 2:30 this afternoon. Why, what was on your mind?
Thought I'd take you to lunch. Had an old friend I wanted you to meet, Larry Jennings. You remember, I told you all about him.
Oh, sure I do. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't go with you, Les, but I didn't get out to eat until late.
You mean you didn't eat until 2:30?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. How do you do it? I couldn't, big boss or no big boss. When noon rolls around, I'm hungry and I've got to eat or I can't work anymore.
Yeah, you don't know the secret of Horlicks malted milk tablets, I see.
Horlicks malted milk tablets?
The greatest thing in the world to help you ward off hunger or fatigue. Well, I always keep a flask of them in my desk. Whenever I begin to feel hungry or tired, all I have to do is get out those tablets and dissolve a few in my mouth. Yeah, they've helped me through many a tough day, I can tell you.
Say, they'd be just the thing to have with you on a long automobile jaunt, wouldn't they? Horlicks malted milk tablets, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have to remember to get some.
My wife goes for Horlicks tablets, too. She always carries a few of them in her purse when she's downtown shopping.
And those energy-giving, nourishing malted milk tablets are wonderful, too, for children. Let them carry Horlicks tablets to school with them. They'll nourish while the children work or play. Keep the youngsters from getting too tired or too hungry. Horlicks malted milk tablets come in both natural and chocolate flavors. You can get them in either the small 10-cent size flask or the other larger sizes at your druggist. This is Carlton Brickert speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who bid you all good night and good health. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Now, a lot of people, when they're at work or busy around the house, find themselves becoming fatigued in the middle of the morning or in the middle of the afternoon. The energy that they had just a few hours before seems to have left them. They are unable to give their best to their work. Well, that's just when Horlicks malted milk tablets come in mighty handy. A few tablets dissolved in the mouth will renew the energy supply quickly, giving you new vitality. If it's hunger that has been making you uncomfortable, Horlicks tablets will give you nourishment, satisfy that empty feeling. There's nothing like those delicious Horlicks malted milk tablets to help ward off fatigue or hunger. It's so easy, too, to carry Horlicks tablets with you. No matter where you are, shopping, motoring, at the office or the factory, or out in the open. Your druggist has Horlicks malted milk tablets in either the natural or the chocolate flavor. They come in a small 10-cent size flask, and in other larger sizes as well. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Well, little did Lum and Abner realize the trouble they would cause when they sent out some pictures of Abner a few days ago to some of the female applicants to their matrimonial bureau. Abner's wife, Elizabeth, still thinks that he has been having an affair with another woman and refuses to listen to his explanation. Yesterday, Lum made an effort to straighten out the misunderstanding for his old friend, but was promptly ushered off the place with a broom. As we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Lum and Abner down at the office of their matrimonial bureau. Lum is trying to answer some of their many letters, while Abner still seems to be brooding over his domestic troubles. Listen.
Let's see. Here's an order for a red-headed husband, 6 foot tall, about 40-year-old. Well, I believe we've got one just about fit that description.
Lum, I reckon you could stand out there at the fence and sort of holler.
Huh?
I say, reckon you could stand out there at the fence and sort of holler at Elizabeth and explain things to her?
Abner, I wish you'd hush up about that. I'm trying to answer some of these letters. This matrimonial bureau mail has been stacking up here for days.
I don't care.
Here's a letter from Roseville, Ohio. Feller says he's a young man, 66-year-old, looking for a life companion and helpmate.
Oh, man.
He don't say here what kind he wants. Ain't particular. That makes it easier.
Mom, Dad, blame it all. I wish you'd put them letters down and listen to me.
What is it you want, Abner? If you're still trying to argue me into going back over at your place and talking to Elizabeth, you can just forget it. That woman's unsafe to be around.
Well, what all did you say to her yesterday?
Nothing. She never gave me a chance. Followed me clean out there in the road, chunking rocks at me.
Yeah, I know. We was looking out the window over here and seen her do that.
And the best thing for you to do is to stay over at my house till she sort of cools off some more.
Well, I don't want to wear out my welcome over at your place, Mom.
Granny, she'll wear out something worse than that for you if you go home.
You never did tell her that there weren't nothing to that story about me going into the county seat the other night, huh?
No, I told you I never got a chance to tell her nothing. She done all the talking.
Yeah, she's generally all that does. It's hard to explain things to folks when they do all the talking that way. They just can't listen good for some reason or other. But now, Lum, you said yesterday that you'd guarantee to get her back in a good humor with me, and it's up to you to do it some way or other.
Well, Abner, we may as well give up the idea of ever trying to explain it to her, for she won't give you a chance to talk. We've got to find some other way.
Now, what other ways are they?
Why, there ought to be lots of ways.
There ought to be.
If we could get her sympathy roused some way or other, get her to feeling sorrowful for you.
Yeah.
If you could get serious sick or something like that. You don't feel bad, do you?
No, I feel all right. Why?
Nothing. It won't work. Give me a little time. I'll study up some way to get you out of it.
Yeah, I hope you do, Lum. It just don't seem right not having a home to go to no more. Elizabeth is a good woman at heart. She wouldn't harm a flea.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was a flea, I wouldn't put too much confidence in her the way she's feeling now.
Just to think, after all these years, never appreciated what a fine little woman I had. Never knowed what a good housekeeper she was till I started staying over at your place.
Well, don't sit there and blubber about it. That ain't going to help none.
Oh.
Just let me get caught up with her matrimonial mail here, and I'll sit down with you, and we'll study up some way to get you out of it.
Well, now, Lum, there's bound to be a way to make Elizabeth listen to it.
The only trouble, if we get you out of this scrape, she's going to be mad all over again when she finds out that Squire Skimp beat us out of the store here.
Oh, yeah, she's going higher than a kite when she hears that. Pearl called down here yesterday for some groceries, so I know that she don't know nothing about it yet.
No.
Well, Elizabeth was to come in here and find these shelves all empty. She'd just about pull this place down on top of it.
Well, they ain't plumb empty. I know the Squire left a little stuff scattered around.
No, they are.
Stuff they couldn't sell, I reckon.
Yeah,
There's
well,
2 or 3 bottles of pepper sauce up there, I noticed. Whole bolt of cheesecloth back in behind the counter there.
Yeah, there's little stuff. Never left anything in the counter.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Here comes Cedric Weehart.
Where?
The first time I saw him, quite a spell.
Oh, hey, he's been bucking slabs down there at the sawmill, I think.
Yeah, I bet he found out by now that what an easy job he had when he's working down here for us. Well, come in, Cedric.
Yeah, come in here, Cedric. You're sort of a stranger around here.
Yes, Mom.
I've been working pretty steady. Ain't had no time off to loaf, hardly.
Hey, you ain't been fired, have you, Cedric?
No, they just laid us off for a few days. The skidway's empty down there at the mill, and the weather's been so bad they couldn't get no logs in, so they just shut down till they get catched up.
Uh-huh.
Well, draw up a chair. Sit down there, Cedric. Excuse me while I go ahead here. I've got to answer this mail.
Anything particular you wanting, Cedric?
Well, I just sort of wanted to talk to you fellas, sort of.
Well?
I heard you run the matrimonial bureau over here and sort of solving domestic problems for folks.
Well, we are, Cedric, but Lord me, undoubtedly you ain't got no domestic problems. You ain't married.
No, but me and Gertrude Seastrunker fell out with one another, and I just thought maybe you fellas could give me some advice.
Well, I don't know, Cedric. We'll help you if we can, I'll tell you that.
Well, what would you do, Mr. Abner, if you and Mrs. Peabody was having trouble?
I don't know. It's just what I've been sitting here thinking about for a week, Cedric.
Are you and Mrs. Peabody having family troubles with one another?
Well, don't make no mention of it, Cedric, but we ain't getting along as well as we could.
You ain't even on separating her, are you? Giving her a quitting?
Oh, no, nothing as bad as that. It's just a misunderstanding. She just won't give me a chance to explain to her. Won't let me come on the place.
You mean she won't even let you come home?
No, she's acting awful mean about it.
I bet if you was to have an automobile accident and got yourself all crippled up, she'd have her regrets over treating you this way.
Yeah.
Be ashamed the way she treated you.
Yeah, she might, Cedric. I don't know.
What did you say, Cedric? Say that again. Well, I never meant no harm by it, Mr. Lum. I just said if Mr. Abner here was to have an automobile wreck and get himself hurt, Miss Peabody would feel sorrowful about the way she done him, I bet you. Hey, Granny, that's a idea. That's a idea. That's just what I've been looking for. Abner, you're going to have an automobile wreck.
Huh?
You're going to have an automobile wreck.
Oh, my goodness. How can you tell that?
And you're going to have an arm broke.
Are you telling my fortune?
No, well, that's what's going to happen to you anyway. You're going to have a bad accident this afternoon.
Oh, my goodness. Right on top of all my other trouble, something like this has got to happen. Where's it going to take place, Mom?
Right here, now.
Well, I can't have no automobile wreck sitting here in the store.
Well, you are going to anyway. You've got to. It's the only way to get Elizabeth in a good humor with you, Abner.
Well, Lord me, I'd love to make up with her, Lum, but I don't want to break her arm to do it.
Granny, it might be best to break both arms.
Oh, my goodness, alive, oh, me.
See, here's my idea, Abner. We're just going to make out like you've had an accident. We'll take and wrap your arms up with some bandages and all that stuff and carry you over to the house and tell Elizabeth you're run over by a car.
Oh, just make out like I got my arms broke, huh?
That's right. And then you can explain everything to her. You know she ain't going to hit you with both your arms broke.
No, I don't believe she will.
Yeah, we'll have you looking like a freight train hit you. If this won't teach Elizabeth a lesson, it'll catch her sympathy like nothing else will.
Yeah, I believe it will, too.
If it won't, there won't nothing do it.
No.
Cedric, look over there behind the counter and bring me that bolt of cheesecloth. Abner, get some of them box lids we split up for kindling wood. They'll make good splints for your arm.
Yeah.
That's it, Cedric. Bring it here.
I know this might work all right, Mom, you know what?
Of course it'll work. Roll up your sleeve there. Better get up here on the counter and lay down.
Yeah, sure.
Granny, wait a minute. I've got a bottle of Curacomb here in my desk drawer. We can pour that over them bandages so it'll look like he's bad hurt.
Hey, doggone, I did have an accident, didn't I?
Oh, that car just kept running over.
Yeah.
Don't you never say nothing about this, Cedric. You neither, Abner. We don't want nobody but us three to know anything about it.
Oh, no, sir. If you ever tell this, Cedric, I'll lock you up in jail and throw the key away.
I ain't going to say nothing about it.
That's the way.
Cedric, you start roughing up Abner's arm there while I telephone up Elizabeth and break the sad news to her.
Hey, wait a minute here, Cedric. Put them boards all around my arm here first, you know, and then lock the cheesecloth around them there.
Oh, I see. I'll fix them. Both arms, huh?
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
Here, Abner.
Huh?
Yeah, you get over here close to the telephone and tell Elizabeth that you've been calling for her. Then while I'm talking to her, you can holler her name out 2 or 3 times.
What for?
Wait a minute. Hello? Elizabeth? This here's Lum and Abner.
That's the way, Cedric. Rock 'em good.
Well, now, wait a minute, Elizabeth. Before you start in on that, I've got some awful sad news for you.
Awful sad, rock 'em. Right.
Yes, Mom. Well, it's about Abner. Why, he's been run over by an automobile.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of them.
Well, we don't know how bad he's hurt.
No.
So far, we found 2 broke arms, and he's hurt internal. It's the working, Abner.
Tell her I ain't come to myself yet, Mom.
He said, shut up, Abner. He ain't come to himself yet, Elizabeth, but he keeps calling your name. Calling for you. Call her, Abner.
Elizabeth! Elizabeth!
What's the stout?
Elizabeth! Now, up, hold on, Cedric.
Well, I wouldn't take it too hard, Elizabeth. He might pull through the shatters. Huh? No, don't come over here. We're just fixing to bring him over there. Get the bed ready and we'll be right.
Well, it's a great idea. If it works. And now, let's listen just a minute to Jane Taylor and their friend Ruth Nichols. Here they are.
Ruth, I've just discovered the best reducing plan. I know. You told me all about it. Well, I couldn't have. I just found out about it week before last. I haven't seen you for a month. Well, you were telling me all about that day that we had lunch with Helen Powers. Oh, you mean that one. Oh, that was a farce. A farce? Yes, I wore myself out in 2 days with all that crazy exercising. Just as I told you you would. Why don't you be sensible, Jane? I'd much prefer carrying a few extra pounds to killing myself trying to act like a chimpanzee. Oh, you don't have to act like a chimpanzee. Not with this new reducing plan. You don't have to exercise at all, in fact. Jane, you haven't taken anything that might hurt you, have you? I'd see my doctor before I tried any of those things. Don't be silly. I'm not being silly, but some of those things are harmful. Well, let me tell you what I've done. Today and every day last week, I drank a glass of Horlicks malted milk at noon. Will that kill me, do you think? Horlicks? Well, of course it won't, but I don't see how... I drink a glass of Horlicks instead of eating a heavy luncheon. Horlicks is nourishing and sustaining, but it doesn't have an excess of calories like a heavy meal. That's how Horlicks at noon helps reduce you. It's really effective, Ruth. I lost 2 pounds last week, the very first week I tried it. Well, say, that's the most sensible reducing plan I've ever heard of. That glass of Horlicks for lunch sounds awfully good to me. I guess I'll try the Horlick reducing plan, too. Oh, good. My figure could stand a little trimming.
And a glass of Horlicks instead of a heavy meal at noon is a mighty fine reducing plan. One that will help you overweight people regain a youthful waistline. Now, you can make a glass of Horlicks quickly and easily, either at home or at work. Horlicks, you know, is a delicious, full-flavored drink when mixed with water alone. It isn't necessary to add any flavoring or even milk. You can get Horlicks malted milk in either natural or chocolate flavor at your druggist. This is Carlton Bricker speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all good night and good health.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.